I live in a big house. Not something fancy or expensive, but because it's still too much trouble going to all the places to see if everything is alright. And this became 10 times worse if I had to check the front yard or the backyard every time. So to save time and energy, I just had to get dogs. Not just pet dogs, but actual guard dogs, the big and scary ones that no one dares to challenge. In my small town, there aren't many shelters and even fewer that have big dogs, so getting them was very difficult, and unfortunately at the time now I think if I had any bigger or meaner. I don't want to think about it. In the end I got 2 golden retrievers. Not the most threatening dog, but it's the training that makes the personality, not the breed. At least that was what I thought. Not even 1 week after I got them, my house was invaded. They got everything except those stupid dogs that did nothing but staring at me with their goofy smile like everything was fine. Then I got online to find a good dog trainer. For the 3 months after, I got trainer after trainer after trainer, and they did nothing. My dogs were just as stupid and useless as ever, if not even worse. Then I hit the internet one last time and come across a suspicious website. It was called From Pet to Killer. Now offline, of course. I was desperate, so even this shady website was appealing, and in the worst case, it would just be a scam or ad else. After some time, I made contact with one guy and he promised me
they will protect their territory in 1 month or your money back.
Well, we exchanged info and he said he would take a day to come. After a long waiting, he finally got to my home and he said, "This will take the whole day and I need to be with them alone, so you may as well enjoy your day." Now I thought this was strange, just like anyone who come across my telling. But I had to work, and the worst he could do was rob my dogs. And then I would have an excuse for getting newer and better dogs. After that long day of work, when I arrived home, they were still as dumb and naive as ever. I just said mentally, another one that can't do shit. But I found a letter in one of their lashes that read, "They don't have names, I just didn't give a crap about them. Just give Paul and Lucy here a chance. So you have names now, whatever." In the middle of that night, I had a strange dream about being hunted down by 2 big golden figures with sharp and long teeth. I felt like I was being ripped apart. With every second the pain was getting worse and worse. I got up at the usual time, and when I was checking the house, I found a small mouse dead. It was weird. No animals come to my home, and even fewer to die on. Then I took a look at Ball and Lucy. They now have names, so might as well use them. I don't think you guys could protect this house even from a small rodent like this one. I went to my job next without giving it any more thought. I really should have. The next few days were the same as usual until one day I had a weird dream just like the other one. But the golden figures were even bigger and meaner. Their eyes were burning with passion and hostility, just like predators hunting. They tossed me from side to side like I was a toy. Every second was increasingly painful, but not enough to wake me up. I woke up in a pond of my own sweat. I was dirty and completely out of my mind. It took me a few seconds to regain my normal and calm self. Then I proceeded with my normal routine. Everything was fine, and in a moment it was like time frozen in place. I looked at the front yard and there it was. Just a rat in my yard, dead. But it was different. It had bite marks. Oblivious to my previous feeling, I, for the first time, congratulate both Paul and Lucy. This was an error and just made me fear for my life now. Some time passed by until one day I come home to the greeting of a dead possum. It wouldn't be possible to know it was a possum if it wasn't for the little piece of jawbone it was left behind and my knowledge of biology. At that moment I actually felt fear. I reluctantly looked at Paul just to check if it was them. there it was, small amounts of blood and possum fur. And the worst part, it wasn't like they were wasting it, it was like it was there to show me what they have done. This time I didn't celebrate them protecting my house. I just ran inside and waited for my unease to cease. This was the only right move I have pulled so far. Every day that passed forward, I felt more and more nervous about what both Paul and Lucy could do. I made the decision of the next time, if they kill something, to call a friend that knows about dogs to help me out, and the next night to my decision, I had another dream. This time the figures were clear to see. They were dogs, golden retrievers to be precise, made me realize what was happening. I wasn't dreaming. I was hearing the animal crying for help, and I was materializing in my subconscious, and this time it was way worse. Paul and Lucy weren't just hunting me or the animals in this case. They were actually torturing the animal. I woke up crying that day, which isn't normal. I'm not the type to have empathy, but that felt so real and so excruciating. I immediately contacted my friend and called sick to work. After 2 hours with panic in my eyes, I hear her coming. It was a relief, really, but a feeling was telling me this wasn't right. And then before greeting her, we checked both Paul and Lucy, and they weren't growling or barking. They weren't moving. They were standing still and waiting for something to happen. Just then I realized and immediately screamed to stop. "Don't come near!" She put a step back just at the right moment so Paul couldn't catch her leg. Then she scolded me. "What the fuck was that? Why the hell did you teach that?" That's the thing, I didn't. After that, I don't know how, but I made Paul and Lucy quiet and convinced my friend to come inside. We proceeded to talk, and she explained to me that she had never seen something like this, even in her long year in this shelter. "We did have aggressive dogs, but nothing so extreme. It's like they were possessed by something." Then it clicked. I rapidly sent her away and made sure that Paul and Lucy would not touch her. Before I could go check on the guy who trained them, I saw what was keeping me awake that night. It was a stray cat. Now I know they are aiming for bigger things. I had to check if the guy was near or any information on him at all would help a lot. And just my luck, everything is gone. The contact, his number, and the website. Even my own memories of this guy are as cold as hell. My friend came here 2 days ago, and if it wasn't because I had to restock food, I think this wouldn't even be posted. Ever since she was here, I haven't slept or gone to work, all because I'm fearing they will come for me next. But I had to get food, and a lot. So with one out of the house, Paul and Lucy made the worst thing possible. When I was just getting back, I saw a guy calling for his dog. I know that guy is from my neighborhood, and I know he had a Rottweiler almost the size of a wolf. That was almost 2 times the size of Paul and Lucy, but as there's a saying in Brazil, I'm small but not half. You're big but not two. In my case, they were actually small and they were 2. I knew for whatever reason that his Rottweiler wasn't coming back, but I checked nonetheless. And there they were chewing on some dog's bones. I'm just glad I didn't hear the Rottweiler's screams. I rushed inside feeling safe, or at least safer than being outside. But the guy from earlier called the cops, and they decided to come near my house. That was when I made my worst decision. "Don't come near, you'll be killed!" Yeah, I screamed to cops that they would be killed if they come near. I am a fucking genius. They obviously stepped up, and that moment the first one put their feet in the front yard. Lucy ripped their leg. The other cop could just have killed my dogs and made my life easier forever. But just as terrified as I was by the first cop's scream, the other cop couldn't do anything but freeze and scream. Now here I am in the middle of my living room in fetal position, writing this with fear of ever taking a single step outside.